Aloha to you, our friends in Japan. Mahalo for joining us on a very special occasion that we celebrate once a year. We hope you'll enjoy the concert, the mele, the hula, and of course, the lei. Aloha.
I seem to hear the Pali calling me. I seem to hear the surf at Waikiki. And from Pacific heights I seem to see the light of that city that is very dear to me. I seem to see the waving sugar cane. The cocoa palms are nodding in the rain. In fancy I am led back to dear old Diamond Head. Honolulu, I am coming back again. I seem to hear the Pali calling me. I seem to hear the surf at Waikiki. And from Pacific heights I seem to see the light of that city that is very dear to me. I seem to see the waving sugar cane. The cocoa palms are nodding in the rain. In fancy I am led back to dear old Diamond Head. Honolulu, I am coming back again. Honolulu, I am coming back again. Honolulu, I am coming back again.
ハワイアン航空 May Day 2022 presented by the Hawaiian Islands にようこそ。
はい、ようこそ Welcome, welcome, welcome 今年も見てくれて本当にありがとうございます。今日は土曜日の5月7日ですね。皆さん今ちょうど昼の時間なのでランチ食べてます？美味しいもの食べてるのかな？僕たちはまだなんですけど、まずね仕事を終えてからいっぱい食べたいと思ってますので、はい、今日もよろしくお願いします。今年もよろしくお願いします。
はい、
まあでも今年初めて見てる方はいると思いますので、May Day. What is May Day?
What is May Day? May Day is a celebration of lei. So, lei is synonymous with Hawaii. So, lei 見ると、絶対ハワイのことを思い出すので、lei のセレブレーションになりますね。
lei のセレブレーション。はい、もう例はね、もう本当に今使っているこの例もそうなんですけど、作る側ももらう側もみんながその瞬間に味わう気持ちっていうか、その挨拶した時とか匂いだったりとか、すごくいい香りだったりすると何か素晴らしい楽しいことを思い出すんじゃないですか。
はい、
そういう全ての思いを含めてみんなお互い例を渡して例を作って自分にも身につけてもう例を祝いましょうっていうホリデーからスタートしてずっと小学校からね、高校までセレブレートしてもうその日は勉強はありません、ありません本当にフラを踊るかどうかも関係なく生徒全員フラ踊ったり、ハワイアンの曲を歌ったり本当に文化を中心にみんなが集まってくるの日 日にはなってますよね。
なので、なんかメーデーって本当は礼のセレブレーションといえば、その作るとき、人にあげるとき、アロハを伝えるチャンスになるし、ハワイの文化もエンジョイして、すべてね、フラ、音楽、そのアーツ&クラフトとか、なんかいろんなものを作ったりとかするし、それで、礼は中心っていうか、ハワイの文化のすべてを、お祝いする。
全部結び合うっていうか、人とのコミュニケーションを取る日でもあるんだよね。だから本当に、そうか、礼だけを祝う日なんだって。基本的に言うとそうなんです。ただ、その礼を渡すことによって、もらうことによって、作ってることで、自分の気持ちと向き合う、他の人とコミュニケーション取って、いろんな人が中心に集まって、同じ思いをもとに幸せに感じる一日にはなってますね。
またなんかアロハを確認する日って感じ。
そうです。はい、ちょっとね、やっぱりハワイに行くと、アロハって礼をかけるって、会ったことない人がアロハって本当にアロハと思ってるのかという、そういうところもあるかもしれないんですけど、やっぱりね、毎日の人生の中でロボットになってしまうところがあるから、当たり前ではなく、しっかりといつももらっているものを大切にして、それを預かった上で、その気持ちがどういう気持ちで作ってもらったのか、どういう気持ちで使うか、この後にその礼をどう預かっていくのかとか、やっぱり人の気持ちを預かると同じなんだよね。だから私たちお互いを思い合える、そういう日にはなってますので、そういう気持ちをぜひ身につけて今日は一緒に過ごしていきましょう。はい。で、メーデーなんだけど、キヌにとってメーデーの特別な思い出とか何かありますか？
特別な思い出が
いっぱいあるんだけどね。ちょっとだけね、ちょっと。
はい、で、また今年も言いますが、僕の誕生日は
そうか、忘れてた。Oh my gosh! キナ is the late child っていつも言ってたんだよね。
レイデイベイビー。
レイデイベイビーだ。
そう、メーデーで生まれたので、もちろん個人的にすごく
忘れてた。
すごい特別な日でもある。で、変な話、僕の誕生日なのにみんなお祝いしてる。となんか思ってた感じ。
みんな僕だけのためにっていう。
そう、僕のためにみんな礼つけてるんだってありがとうございますみたいな。
すごい子供の時から見るとちょっとそれ幸せだろうね。
本当、子供でなんかみんな僕の誕生日のためにこんなに元気になったんだ、嬉しいねってずっと思いました。はい、もちろんその文化、お母さんと一緒に礼作ったり、友達みんなからもらったり、多分他の友達みんなに誕生日で礼あげるのは大人になってあるけど、子供頃から礼もらってたから。
子供の時ないですね。友達みんなに配るっていうのもなんかいいよね。配るっていうかこういう手でじゃなくてね、しっかりともうかけてハグしてっていうの。
お互いのことを思ってね、礼作ることだから、さっき言ったみたい、アロハを確認する、なんか絆。ファミリーもそうだし、フレンズもそうだし、
仕事場でも、学校の上でも、僕たちはやっぱり学校の思い出が多くて、僕だったらやっぱりね、僕たちがフラで育てられて、その文化をもとにずっと勉強してきたので、家族として。で、僕たちが小さかった頃、フラを踊るのがとってもかっこいいイメージではないんですよ。なんで文化的なことをやるのっていうのをちょっとね、逆にマイナスになってた時だったんだよね。なのでどっちかというと日本語学んだ方がいいっていう、自分の文化を勉強するより日本語学んだ方がこれから仕事につながるからっていうリアルなところがあったから、フラしかも男性っていうのがすごくあったから、フラ踊ってるのがちょっと恥ずかしかったりとかする思いがあったりして、学校でもちょっと嫌な顔されたりとかすることがあったりしたので、ちょっとね、メイデーはすごく救われたというか、一番ポピュラーな すごく人気のある子たちでも人気全くない子たちでももう何をしてても何に興味があったとしても全員やらなきゃいけないことなので、みんなフラ踊る、みんな歌う、もう本当に文化をもとに動く日だったから、よっしゃーって自分が得意なものができたと思って、
でまあなんていうの、自慢できる時間になっちゃうよね。
そうで、誰よりも立派な例をママがいっぱい作るんですよ。はい、もう大体みんな1つか2つぐらいやるんだけど、家族とか、みんなに配った後にもお母さんが僕たちに 10個ずつぐらいくれてたから、もうこんなのもポーもつけても自信満々で花だらけになって楽しかった日なので、すごく
またその上にキナの誕生日
まあそれおまけです。
だからすっごくおまけハッピーな一日ね。
そうだから本当に僕にとって大人になってからね、このメイデーというのは日本でもきっかけとしていろんな人が自分の毎日それぞれの生き方、それぞれの考え方があるんだけど、それぞれが違ってていいの、違ってていい。ただ私たちが共通している部分が必ずあるから、このメーデーをきっかけに私たちが全員とりあえずお互い感謝の気持ちを持って、当たり前のことを思わないでコミュニケーション取り合って壁を下ろしてハッピーでいい時間を過ごそうっていう、そういう思いでなってたから、僕が子供の時にね、なのでそういうのをきっかけ作れたらなと思いますので、今年は2年目でオンラインにはなってますけど、いつかねこれが実際に対面でみんなにも会って、ハワイのみんなも日本に来て一緒にシェアできるようなイベントに必ず成長していきたいと思いますので、楽しみにしておいてください。いいね。はい。でメイデーといえば先ほど話してたレイ、このレイなんですけど、ハワイ人みんなレイ作れるんだね、みんなレイを作るのがうまいんだねと思うでしょう。うまい
？3日間ぐらいがあれば
なんかね、僕たちがもろハワイとの田舎からなんだけどレイ作るのがあんま得意じゃないんです。本当にうまくなくてキナが几帳面ですっごい細かく作るんだけど、もう1週間ぐらいかかる1本で、僕はすごい早いんだけどかけた時に全部ポロポロポロと落ちる本当にうまくないから、ちょっとね勉強しようと思って、今年は去年このメイデーに出演していただいた馬花先生、大谷先生のところに行って学んできました。しかも今回の例はちょっとね面白い、すっごい可愛い形なので、ぜひ VTR ご覧ください。おはようございます。今年も馬花先生をお呼びしております。ありがとうございます。もう去年の引き続きにね、花の大切さ、レイメイキングはやっぱりね、メイデーといえばレイデーだから、こういう素敵なレイもいただきました。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。嬉しい、本当に。
もうメイデーはもういろんな人が一つの場所に集まって、みんなが一つの形になる同じ考え方を持って、もうレイをかけるだけでね、自慢なもの、美しいもの、自分の心に近いものなので大好きな人を象徴したりするからね。なのでちょっとね明るいこの元気が出る例を元に今日はレイメイキングしたいと思います。で、ごめんなさいね。大谷先生なんですけど、僕が馬花先生、いつも馬花先生と呼んでるから馬花先生でいきますよ。で、馬花っていうこの名前はどうやってこの馬花っていう名前になったんですか？
馬花っていうとハワイの言葉って思ってる方がすごく多いんですけど、実は僕が、お花の色をチョイスするときに、お料理からイメージしたりとかしてるんですよ。なのでうまそうな花で馬花。
すっごい長くしてるのに初めて知った。どう考えてもハワイ語かなと思ったんですけどね。
面白い。うまい花。
確かにうまそうです。
もうなんか美味しいキャンディーみたいな感じだよね。
まあ今日はですね、僕が最近もう本当に馬花先生のインスタグラムをいつもストーキングしてるんですけど、そこでなんか作ってる一つの珍しい例があって、どうしても作りたくて頼んだんですけど、問題は 僕たちがハワイ人であり、クムフラであり、全部周りにレイメイキングやその大切さは感じております。ただその作るスキルはゼロです。なので本当にね、僕たちがうまくないんですよ。なのでそれでも大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫です。
はい、じゃあ今日はどういう例を作りますか？
今日は指につけてみようっていう例ですね。
何これ？だから先。
はい、それをちょっとやってみたいと思います。
いいね。指につける例ですよ。
そうですね。まあちょっとのお花でできるので、誰でもできるし、お花を買わなくても身近にある花で作れるんじゃないかなっていうふうに思います。まずは、いつもならたくさん使うんですけど、今日はもう1本で多分大丈夫なんで、まずその指に回すサイズなんで、このくらいあればいいんだと思います。それでこう折ってもらって、ここちょっと一つに結んでください。
僕たちがついていけるかな。
今のこの段階でも不安。
そうだから
大丈夫です。
はい。そんなこれ
このループに大丈夫です。大丈夫です。
大丈夫ですか？
ここ後でこうカットしてこれ結ぶための紐にしないといけない。だから全然大丈夫です。でこれがベースになって、ここにお花を置いて、こうでお花は何を使うか。これは
すいません。
チョイスしていただいて。
なんかすごいいい香りがする。
これ。
水仙ですね。
フレスカって言うんでしたっけ？違うっけ？
いい香り。いい香り。すごい。
どれでも
何種類
でも使っていいんです。
マーナ先生の例だとやっぱり香りが楽しめることも意識してとか作ったりしてるんですか？
そうですね。日本だとやっぱ香りが多い花っていうのが少ないので、その分ハーブとかを入れたりとかっていうこともあります。
もう本当にそれがなんか日本の例っていう、日本にしかできない例っていうか、ハワイの時だとハーブを入れることがあんまり経験なかったので、すごくなんかね落ち着くんだよね。
そうですね。前にローズマリーを入れた例をハワイで作った時に、僕はいい香りだと思って作ったんですけど、それをハワイの人たちにプレゼントした時にこうやって香りを嗅いでサンクスギビングだって。その
チャッキーと一緒に食べるやつだよね。
すごい。そうかね、イメージはね。
リメイキングをするときにいつもハワイで意識することの一つはやっぱり考えてることとか、誰と会話してるのかとか、ストレスなこととか嫌な思いをしながら作ってると、疲れた、大変だとか思ってると、それが例の中に入って誰かにプレゼンするときにその気持ちまでにその人に伝わることがあるから、いつもレイメイキングするときにちゃんといい気持ちで考えてることもピュアというかポジティブな方に会話している人もちゃんと嫌な思いの人だったら作んない方がいい。本当にそれ全てがもう生きてるものなのでね、全て吸ってそれが次使う人かける人にも移るから、逆に逆もあるんでね、そのいいエネルギー、いいパワーを与えることもできるから。はい、じゃあお願いします。
はい、お願いします。じゃあ、この結んであるところで、つまんで持ちます。でこれで好きなものを、好きなように、いくつか置いて、僕は結構1回に結構持っちゃうんですけど、
同じことやってる。自分のクリエイティブさがゼロの真似するだけっていう。
こんな感じでこう一つのブケを持つような感じにして、でこれができたら3回ぐらい巻きます。2回でもいいかな。2回ぐらいにしましょう。
じゃあ2回
2回ぐらい2回ぐらいでいいですかね。
はい、2回。
はい、3回って言ったんですけど2回ぐらいにしましょう。
そう、キナがね、よく人の話聞かないんですよ。
聞くよ。
お、一つだけできました。可愛い。
可愛いです。
すごい。オッケー。
はい。
はい、そうしたら、
はい。
また、
はい。
同じセット。
同じセット、まあ違うセットでもいいんですけど、
はい。
重ねていきます。
わかりました。
また置いて巻きます。
結構もう綺麗と思いますけど。違う？
見てない。
僕を見る余裕ないか。
ない。
このレイメイキングをスタートした時に、一番最初の一発目から楽しいとは思えたんですか？
僕ですか？
はい。
そうですね。楽しかったことは楽しかったですね。最初、僕はその組むとか行ったわけじゃなくて、本を買ってハワイの本を見て。そうです、真似して、
すごい。
辞書でなんて書いてあるんだろうみたいな感じで、
な
のでなんかその見たこともないお花だったりとか、そういうハワイのお花とかどんなお花なのかなって思いながら、日本で買ったお花でこう真似して作ったっていうのがスタートだったんですよね。でもやっぱりすごくワクワクしました。ハワイのことだから、上手にできるようになるといいなって思って。
やっぱりね、みんなはなんかハワイにいたりとかすると礼もらったりすることはあったりすると思うんですけど、たまにその礼がゴミに入ってるの見たりするんじゃないですか。
もう心痛い。
すごい心が痛いの。だから例えばそれを持って帰ってドライになるまでに飾ってたりとかね、それでも美しいし、ドライになってる途中とか花によって全然違うから、もうドライの方が素敵だったりする花もありますよ。
時もある
ね。でそれか僕たちの生徒たちとハワイに行ったりする時にもらった礼をもう一回土に返すというか、海だったりとか土に糸だけをもし使ってればその糸だけを取ってその花をもう一回大地にありがとうと、一緒に過ごせた時間ありがとうという気持ちで戻すこともやったりしていますね。その桜の例を作るのがなんかその花がすごくデリケートで難しそうなんですけど、そうですか？
桜の例は桜の種類によっては、このヘタっていうんですかね、さくらんぼのこういうステムが、あれと同じような部分があるので、そこを編めば今日みたいに簡単に作れます。指に当ててみて、サイズどのくらいまでの長さにするかっていうのがそろそろいいかもしれない。
そろそろですよね。
そしたら終わりましたら、このラフィアを一回大きく回してこのスペースに下から上に入れてギューッと引っ張ってください。そしたらこれでロックします。
下から
上に入れてギュッと
上に入れて
ギュッと
ギュッと、お花が中に入っちゃった。
かわいそう。
大丈夫です。できましたか
？2回もやりました。
ここをロックしたらそれで、そしたらこれとこれで、これとこれで
もう早くつけたいです。
ね、
いいね。
授業やるときになんかもう毎日作りたい。
レッスンを教えてる時のフラ教えてる時全指に
いいね。
なんとなく
でこれでもう自分の指のサイズにもう結んじゃって
切っちゃったりしてもいいですか？
切っちゃっていいです。残ったやつはもう切っちゃってください。
でこっちとこっち。
でかわいい。どうですか皆さん。で
よくできました。
いつも SNS でなんかやってますよね。
それですか？
これをやった場合。 はい、よく見てくださいよ皆さん。
よく見てください。
もうやりたい超やりたい、
これをこうして
せっかくやりたい。
こうして、
はい、じゃあまだ見せないで、
は
はいい、私たちみんなもやってから、
お願いします。
はい。なんて
もうこういう指の回るぐらいの長さだけでこんなにの焦った2人なんですけど、すごい嬉しい。なんか本当にハッピーな気持ちになります。よく言うじゃないですか、例を作る時にすごいハッピーになるよとか、やっぱり触れてるだけでその冷たさというか、なんか生きてる感が本当に感じるよね。聞いてない。
今集中してる。
はい、集中してるよね。はい、わかりました。じゃあいいですか？いいですか？
はい、
はい、じゃあ行きますよ。行きますよ、皆さん。はい、ワン、ツー、スリー、ボン。どうですか？はい、できましたよ。どうですか？かわいいでしょ。
やばい。
かわいい。どうでした？どうでした
もう
今
いや、これちょっと感動。
日？ね。
なんかもう毎日作りたくなっちゃ
なんか違う花でやってたりとかね。
そう。
でもね、本当に馬花先生のおかげで日本中に霊の文化が全然変わったし、もう本当に彼の思いというかその伝えたいメッセージも全てもぜひぜひ SNS でもインスタグラムでもフォローして、ぜひ見てほしい。もうこういう指輪からこんなでかいものまで幸せを日本中に広げてる馬花先生でもありますので、私たちがメディで同じことをしたいなと思ってるからこれからもメディもよろしくお願いします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございます。ジエーバイバイ。
Aloha kako. Mahalo for joining us for another year of May Day. We send our aloha to our beloved Japan audience as we look forward to the next time we can be together. May Day is a time when we gather to celebrate lei, music, hula, and much more. Please enjoy this concert brought to you with much aloha from Hawaiian Airlines.
馬花先生、ハワイのエアラインズ、マハロヌイ。
ハロー、もう楽しかったね。
可愛かったよね。
なんか今度ぜひぜひ皆さんチャレンジしてみてください。もうね、本当に思ったよりはできたかな。
まあなんとなく。でもう結構もうなんていうの心配で、僕たちがずっと多分馬花先生とずっと喋っちゃうから、なかなか例作らないでしょと思いながら。多分2人とも集中しすぎてなんかあんまり喋
るの忘れてた時ありました。
で僕も多分 2,3 回ぐらい舌が出てたんじゃない？なんか集中してない。
あとね、そうキナが集中するとね舌が出てしまうんだよね。
出ちゃう。
でずーっと自分だけでやってて全然カメラが見えない状態だったりしてね。
なんかもう誰も気にしてないって感じで。
結構この大きさだけでもいっぱいいっぱいでしたからね。はい。でもね、本当に例もいろんな形がある。人と同じいろんな人がいて、私たちみんな違ってていい。いつも僕は言ってるんですけど、それを理解した上で毎日動いてると、毎日にかける気持ちさえ全然変わるから、ストレスがどんどんなくなっていくんだね。はい。で、今回はこの後に皆さんがご覧いただくハワイ側のメーデーの本番なんですけど、やっぱりね、どういうこと言ってるのかなとか、どういうプログラムになるのかもっとうまくナビゲートできるように、こういうこと言ってたんだねって先に僕たちが説明をすれば、皆さんがもうちょっと理解できて、もうちょっとより深く楽しめるんじゃないかなと思って、今から今年のプログラム、今年のメーデーについてお話ししたいと思います。まずWhen in Rome, do as the Romans do. よく英語で言われますが、日本語で言うと5にいれば5に従え
っていうのはよく言われるんじゃないですか。これを元に今回のショーを組み立てて作ったんですけど、やっぱりね、自分がいる場所がとっても大切であって、どこにいるのか、自分の周りをなんだっけ、日本語で KY っていう時あるじゃん。普通の KY って KY 古いか？
いや、大丈夫だね。
空気読めない人だとちょっとね、過ごしにくかったりとかするじゃないですか。どこに行ったとしても、周りを意識した上で自分の行動をするっていうのが、やっぱりとても大切ではあるんだよね。
はい。で、僕たちに直接このことわざというか関係すると、僕は思うのは、日本にいれば日本に従えっていうか、ちょっとおかしく聞こえるけど、僕たちも日本にね住むことになって、ちゃんと周り見て、自分たちが頑張って勉強して合わせること、そうなんか日本に合わせる
自分を持つ大切さを学んだね。
で、日本になんか合わせようとすると、その日本の動き、日本の文化、毎日のみんなの行動とか、もう少し理解できるし、なんかもっと深い、意味、あと気持ちとかになるから、なんかこの考え方ね、ハワイにいるなら、ハワイみんなを見て、フォローするっていうか合わせることが大事。
より日本の皆さんもハワイに行った時に楽しめるためなんだよね。それは僕たちがキナがさっき言ったみたいに実際に経験していることで、今は20年ほどずっと日本に住み続けてきて、やっぱり毎日の普通のことから考えましょう。普通の毎日だとやっぱり周りがやっていて、もしやらなければプチなんだけど迷惑かけることが多いだと思うんだよね。例えばエスカレーターのどっち側で立つ歩く側とか、関西だと違うかね。だからそういうのも覚えてたりすると、やっぱり朝急いでる人とかがやっぱり歩きたいし、それを避けるだけでそれぞれがやらなきゃいけないことはスムーズに済む。また電車の中であんまり大きく喋らないとかね、おにぎりをバクバクでずっと食べてるんじゃないよっていうそういうところだったり、簡単な小さなことから覚えていくと、少しずつその地その場所の人たちの美しさや、その場所に対する尊敬っていうか増えていくんですよ。僕たちが日本に来た時に自分たちの文化を持って日本に来たからフラを教えるためにね、その時におばあちゃんに言われたのが、フラを教えていくためにはまずその場所、日本という場所の言葉を喋れること、その場所の文化を分かること、毎日の日本人の過ごし方を分かった上でじゃないとしっかりとコミュニケーションはできないよ。じゃないと私たちの文化を正しく伝えられない。だって勝手に僕たち一方的にハワイだからフラがハワイだからって言ってるだけだと自分を関係することができないから、じゃあ日本人にとってこの気持ちは何なのか、どうやって説明すればいいのかとかをずっと20年間考えた上で動いてきたことで、この場所に対する愛、感謝、辛いことも一緒に経験して、素晴らしい幸せなことも一緒に経験して、日本の祭りだったりとかは、きっと他の外国の人が他のハワイのエンターテイナーとかよりもちょっとね違う心の幸せな部分を知ることができたんですよ。なのでそれは皆さんがハワイに行ったとしてもできることなんだよって、自分の日本というこの地に対する当たり前のような幸せとか、毎年来るようなフェスティバルとか祭りとかで過ごしている思い出とか、ハッピーさとかはね、それがハワイに行ったとしてもハワイ人の気持ちを理解したら自分にも関係できて、よりワイキキ以上にハワイが山ほど素晴らしいところいっぱいあるからね、そういうのをみんなに知ってもらいたいんだね。
日本の考え方と文化に合わせようとするとその深みが出る。じゃあ、日本人が何大切にしてるか、この外人2人が分かると自分たち も一緒に喜ぶことになるから、じゃあ同じ考え方でハワイに行くと、じゃあハワイみんなは何大切にしてるかとか、ハワイみんなの考え方とか、文化のこととか、少し自分から、勉強しようとすると、もうちょっと深い素晴らしい幸せ知識になるし、いい経験になるし、なんか
本当に心に響くような楽しさになるんだよね。
そういうシチュエーション、増えるので、今年のテーマにも、その教えが入ってるというか、ハワイみんながアイナ、そのランドを大切にするので、今年のねハワイメーデーはすっごくもう素晴らしいプレゼンテーションになるし、すごくいいゲストたちもいますね。
楽しみです。ぜひぜひ楽しみにしてほしい。で、今年は伝説な地から土地からお送りするんですけど、オアフ島のビショップミュージアムね、ビショップ博物館っていうところからみんなに生でライブでメーデーをお送りしてるんですけど、その中でですね、前もって撮影した部分があって、いろんなことをみんなに、じゃあ5にいれば5に従えって言うんだったら、ハワイ人はその場所についてどう思っているのか、どういうふうに関係しているのか、自分の毎日の生き方とこの場所とこの自然がなんて美しい、ハワイの中ではなんで美しいの、なんでみんながずっとこういうところでいいパワーを感じられるの、そういうのがまずアフプワっていう言葉から始めます。これが本番のメインショーの中の流れが、アフプワっていうのを聞くと、なんだろう、日本で言うとそういう何々県とか千葉県とか、
何区とか渋谷区、
そういう場所の分け方なんですよね。で、昔のハワイだと例えば島があります。で、真ん中に山があって、その真ん中の山の方から海まで縦に長く分けていってたんですよ。
そう、上から見るとパイみたいになっちゃう。
そうです。
そう、山があって、
パイかピザか。
あったそうだね。
そう、なので同じなんだろう、どこだ、どっか秋葉原からですって言ったら、秋葉原が山の部分もあるし、真ん中の部分もあるし、海の部分もある、縦に長い上の昔のシステムといえば、山にしかない植物、山にしかない素晴らしさ、それが今回のメーデーで、それが今回のメーデーで、マウイ島にいてマウナカハラバイという山をお伺いします。で、そのマウナカハラバイといえば、僕たちにとってすごく特別な場所でもあって、僕たちのおじさんがね、書いた曲がマウナカハラバイ、有名な曲があって、本当に美しい場所。じゃあ山はやっぱり雨が降って、それが川となって、この川から下の方にある全員に栄養を与える元になってる。その真ん中はハワイ語で言うとクラはいろんな植物とかタロイモとか、日本だとそれお米だったりとか、いろんなそれを育ててる場所、畑があって、それも上の人たちの協力がないとその水がたどり着かないとか、それをケアすることによって、まずここでしか作れない食べ物を作るシステムをお互い助け合う。今後海の方に全て上に住んでる人たちがやっている行動が全部海に住んでる人たちまでに影響されるから、この流れていってる水、この食べ物も流れていて、逆に今度その下の方から魚とか、やっぱり海には違う魚がいる、海にしかない素晴らしいものがいっぱいあるから、今度その海にあるものを上の方に戻して、またもう一回流れていくという、昔のこのランドが幸せのであれば私たちも幸せっていうことわざがあるんだよね。
Yes、なんかずっともう羽からクラ真ん中らへん、海までのつながりで、もう一回その水は、海から雲になって雨降ってアゲン なんかずっとそのつながりがあって、そのシステムがうまくきれいにちゃんと続くと、イオラオイ、イオラウェイ。あなたの方、あなたって、その、自然。
そう、島に話してるんだね。
そう、アフプア。このアフプアが元気、オラなら、イオラウェイ、自分も元気になります。その関係、人間と地球、自然の関係すごく大切にするので、そういうプレゼンテーション、このなんかビデオとか話からすごいいっぱいハワイ人の心もっと知るようになるメイデープレゼンテーションになります。
なります。で、いろんなやっぱりお話によってもそうですし、フラをとしてそれぞれの音楽もそれぞれの場所に合わせた話をフラという物語を通して皆さんにお届けしたいと思いますので、いっぱい楽しんでみて、もうね、本当にやっぱりじゃあ普段から人をお互い助け合う。普段から自分の住んでる場所をケアしないと私たちも元気はないのであれば、じゃあ今度ハワイに行った時にハワイのみんながそう考えてる、そうやっているのであれば、ワイキキに行った時にゴミをポイ捨てしないでください。そういうのを協力するだけで、その考えた上で動くとか、そういうの影響が皆さんの方までにも伝わってたらなと思って、今回このテーマを考えて作っているハワイのプロデューサーのザカリー・ラムがいて、もう彼ともう本当に一緒にずっとプランニングしてこのメディアを作っている間にいろんな話をしたんですが、やっぱり日本を大切に思っている彼でもあって、彼からの一言をお聞きしたいと思います。
Aloha mai kako. My name is Zachary Lum, member of the band Keauhou and executive director of Līlīlehua. Mahalo for joining us for Hawaiian Airlines May Day 2022, presented by the Hawaiian Islands. We're grateful for the opportunity to continue to grow May Day, especially there in Japan, with our partners Kina and Kalani Asing. May Day is a special celebration for which everyone has a contribution. And as such, we're so grateful to be able to share this celebration May Day, Lay Day, with all of you. We look forward to the next time we get to be together. Aloha.
まあ、ハローザック、いつもありがとう。もういつもね、夜中までにね、電話かかってきたり、日本のみんなにどうやって伝えればいいのかなとか、本気で悩みながら、まだ若いのに、この NPO、カフリレオレアを通して、私たちのハワイの子供たちから大人までもともとハワイにある素晴らしさ、自然の中にある素晴らしさ、そして文化のある素晴らしさを伝え続けている素晴らしいアソシエーションなので、私たちが一緒にできて光栄です。
はい、でもうハワイのみんなだけじゃなく、僕たちが日本にいるから、少しでも、世界に広げればいいなと、ザックも思ってもう頑張っていきたいと思います。
世界から愛されてるハワイですからね。はい、じゃあ皆さん楽しみにしてください。これからは素晴らしいショーが待っておりますので、今回のテーマも含めて、私たちがちょっとだけでももっとハワイを知ってもらえたらなと本当に思います。
はい、このメーデーってハワイみんなが大切にしてる、祭りというかホリデーになってたし、僕がねまた、日本に住むことに比べると、外から例えば、桜が咲く時に世界が日本に来たがりでしょ、
みんな見てるね。
もうみんな見てるし、みんな「おそのHula-Meやりたい」となんかみんな思うでしょう。で、僕たちもなんかその桜ね、直接経験してないとこからちょっとアイディアがあったけど、実は
本当の素晴らしさ分からなかったんだよね。
そう、日本に来てみんなと一緒に花見して、
だって花で終わるんじゃなくて、その花があっていつもなら忙しい皆さんが集まって、
エンジョイする
楽しい時間を過ごしてるじゃない。その花がそれをきっかけにしていろんな美しい思いにつながってるんだなって、本当に日本を知ってから分かったんだよね。
そうだからその深みっていうか、もっと日本のこと もっと分かってて、日本人のこと、日本人が大切にしていることも勉強になったので、その全く同じ感じで、メーデーってもうハワイみんな大切にしているので、文化をシェアできるチャンスになるし、これからもね、みんながメーデー見て、ハワイのことちょっと勉強になったね、もうちょっとハワイに対する気持ち深くなったねって言えるならいいなと思うし、これからもね、僕たちができる限りちゃんとしっかりハワイの代表としてというか、ちゃんと伝えて、みんなにシェアしたいと思います。
はい、なので今度はハワイに行った時に、もう少しだけワイキキ以上にあの山を見て、ちょっと考えるだけでもいいんだ、考えて、なんでこの山があるんだ、なんでこんな美しいんだ、こういう昔からのシステム、お互い思い合う、土地が元気だったら私たちも元気だ、じゃあそれを考えて今日行動しよう、になってたら嬉しいです。今年もメイデーのプリショー見ていただき本当にありがとうございます。本番のメイデーをお楽しみください。また来年ね。
See you!
Hawaiian Airlines May Day, presented by the Hawaiian Islands. And these fine sponsors.
E na hoa maka maka mai, Hawaii nui o ke awia, hiki ni I hau ka hele lani, na ka maaina na malihini aloha. We have got a wonderful evening for you and happy May Day to you wherever you may be. But before we begin on this happy May Day, let's talk about why we're here tonight. Watch.
Who we are and what we do is inseparable from where we are. From verdant mountains to abundant plains to teeming oceans. Mayuka, Ikula, Aikai. This is Hawaii, Aina of beauty, of stewardship, of life. Aloha kākou. I'm Billy V, and it is my privilege to be your host for Hawaiian Airlines May Day 2022, presented by the Hawaiian Islands. We're here in the historic Pernice Pauahi Bishop Museum, Hawaii's premier natural and cultural history museum, founded in 1889 by Charles Reed Bishop in honor of his late wife, Princess Bernice Pauahi Bishop. With its mission to inspire our community and visitors through Hawaii's history, culture, and environment, the Bishop Museum grounds are perfect to host this year's May Day festivities, especially the theme of Līlīlehua that we celebrate. You know, growing up in Kona, gorgeous bright red sunsets never got old. Living now on Oahu, the distinguished Pali and majestic waterfalls never fail to catch my eye. Wherever we call home in Hawaii, our Aina never ceases to amaze us with stirring beauty. It's a familiar beauty that has become famous around the world. But have you ever stopped to ask what seems to be an obvious question? Why is Hawaii so beautiful? What is so unique about our home that hosts beauty found nowhere else in the world? Kanaka-Uivi Professor of Oceanography, Dr. Rosie Elgado, helps us answer these questions through an understanding of the ahupua'a. What is one of the main things that you want people to know about ahupua'a?
I think one of the main things that I'd like people to know is that they're dynamic, actually. It was very much both not only for political purposes, but in response and responsiveness to the conditions of our environment. But what they do is they enable a community to have both resources up Mauka or in the mountains, as well as marine resources. And most importantly, it's connected through water systems. And so really water is the centerpiece of the ahupua'a.
Does science validate the cultural part of ahupua'a?
Science absolutely validates the cultural part of the ahupua'a. I think it's really interesting because when I first started my research at the University of Hawaii, I think that was very early on. One of my, I would even say, naive questions is, is what I'm doing gonna confirm what my kupuna have already shown to be true? And in fact, what we're doing is we're moving beyond that. The culture side has not only taught me more as a scientist than I have with my Western training. Really what I would say is the people who are practicing today in our communities are really the cutting edge scientists. I think it's very important for scientists today to work with our local communities, to listen to our local community practitioners and listen to what are the questions that they need to have answered that they are looking to further understand. I really hope that we can learn from our kupuna, our elders, and particularly learn the management lessons and perhaps think more about increasing the autonomy of these smaller units so that we can be very specific about how we manage the policies around those water systems. You might call them kapu, you might call them kanawai, you might call them policies and laws, but I think that's what's really important for us to hold on to, is that we had evidence-based ways of governing our systems, and they made sense then and they make sense now.
Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for Dr. Rosie Elgado for grounding this year's theme in ahupua'a in Līlīlehua. And in the spirit of May Day, from here in the steps of Bishop Museum, across our Pai'aina and beyond, it is time to bring you the lei, the music, the hula of this wonderful day. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hawaiian Airlines May Day 2022, presented by the Hawaiian Islands. Keauhou, take it away.
E pupu e ihola, mawahola, maloko mai o e o kalumila, o ke kani a ka hola e paela, I ke pono I a ka pae o pua. E pupu e ihola, mawahola, maloko mai o e o kalumila, o ke kani a ka hola e paela, hai ke pono I a ka pae o pua. Ke la veia la ke aloha la, kai ko hulu mele mele la. Ke la veia ala e te manula, e sa nuhu nuhu matau na o na.
Au no au e hopo ana la, I kaumi hane li
ko o hihi na kamalihini o Hawaii nui o ke ave Shua ha'a he o maui no ka oe I ka liko kua lo ke lani Me ka wai kaulana o I au kila kila o hale a kala Anu anu Hawaii Leana I ka lehua Kila kila o mauila Leika roselani Kua hivi na nila O hale akala hahe o au Ea Leana I ka ili Kaulana kawaila Leika mo ki hana Kua hivi na nila O wai ale ale O aku leika iri mau Kapitala o Hawaii nei Kaua I mo ki hana wai ale ale Kela I kalani kila kila Aha ina kapuana me ke aloha E mau ke o ka aina I ka pono Molo ka ilana I me ni I hau A he shua maoli no Aina kapuana Ea Ea A he shua maoli no
Aloha kako and happy May Day. Mahalo to the wonderful gentlemen, our hula brothers of Halau na Kamalei o Līlīlehua. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, whether you're sitting right there or right there behind your television screen, where it's such an honor to be here on the steps of Bishop Museum with my brother Nicholas Lam. A round of applause. Aloha. And Mr. Jonah Kahanuola Solatorio.
Aloha
Jeff Ahoy on the steel guitar. Together we call ourselves Keauhou for this evening, and we have so much mahalo for not only you folks here in person, but for the wonderful sponsors that have allowed this event to happen. Hawaiian Airlines, the Hawaii Tourism Authority, and so many sponsors. And how about a nice round of applause for them, please? You know, it was not 7 days ago where we were in Hilo, and some of you were in Hilo as well, as we all enjoyed the wonderful Merry Monarch Hula Festival. And what's wonderful about that is we have a few special guests that you may recognize. Today, she is our Lay Day Queen, but you know her as Miss Aloha Hula 2022, Miss P.E.K. Lopez.
Ke ke kuini le pua o May. Haina ia mai ka puana no ka ui puanea. Haku ia I lei hohi e no ke kuini le pua o May.
Miss Aloha Hula 2022, Pi'ikea Lopez of Kala Onohimai o Hae Hae.
Mahalo once again to Miss Aloha Hula, Pi'ikea ke ki hene lua vivehi ke Kaunohi Lopez and the group Keauhou. Coming up, a halau that just returned to their home, Oahu, after the Merry Monarch Festival, and a young Grammy-nominated now Hoku Hanohana Award winner from the island of Maui, coming up next.
Another round of applause,
Haina ka puana Elohe mauira. Hano hano helu moa I ka uike. Hano hano helu moa. Kanene he launi no ka aina ulu rehi o Waikiki. Haina ka puana Elohe mauira. Hano hano helu moa I ka uike. Hano hano helu moa. Hano hano helu
Welcome back as we are live with you from the grounds of the Bishop Museum. We start at the top of the Ahapua, the verdant cliffs that bring water to our Aina. To the island of Maui we go, and the famous waters of Navai'eha.
Vai ka pu makani ko kololio. Makani ho ho makani iri
for Nawai'eha.
When the Ahupua'a system was established here on Maui, the watercourses are the things that delineated its boundaries. The moku of Wailuku contains 3 Ahupua'a and 1 kalana. The names of the Ahupua'a are Waikapu, Wailuku, and Waihe'e, and the kalana is Waiyehu. That is the Nawai'eha region, basically the entire moku of Wailuku. The Mauka region here in Iao Valley, of course, is very important because when the moist, humid wind and air comes from the ocean, driven by the cycles of Kane and Kanaloa, as soon as it touches the cool Na'e side of our mountains, it condenses and it forms rain and other types of precipitation that eventually fall upon the mountaintops here, makes its way down to the sea, and is able to start the cycle over again. One of the names of the Iao Needle, when you view from a certain angle, is Nanahoa. That is, of course, the name of Kanaloa's ule, and it's standing right in front of a cliff that's on the side of Pu'ukane. And so you have the two body forms of Kanaloa and Kane, both produce life-giving waters present here in this valley. Currently, there's been a lot of movement, mostly headed by Hui o Nawai'eha, who do wonderful work for water reclamation. They were able to get millions of water returned back to the stream, and so there is flow from Mauka to Makai here in Iao all the way to the ocean. For me, this specific area here in Iao Valley holds a very special place in my heart. Two of my teachers, my kumuhula Nona Mahilani Kaluhio Kalani, and one of her advisors, the late kupuna Auntie Diane Amadeo, would take us frequently here into Iao Valley. Auntie Diane's papa, Peter Kanawaliwali, was from just over the ridge in Kauaula Valley in Lahaina. And from him, she learned about the different wahipana within this area and various materials and resources used in things like la'au lapa'au and for ceremony or even for lei making. And so from a very, I would say 1991 until this day, there's not a month that goes by that I'm not in this valley tending to the resources that I learned from my teachers or taking my own students here to learn those processes as well. I simply love this place. Oh my goodness. I've known Kamalei basically since he was born, and his connection to Nawai'eha is undeniable simply because he was born and raised here amidst the beauty that is Nawai'eha. His connection to the Nawai'eha area in its physical nature, in a more poetic sense, he's fully connected to Nawai'eha, and I love that boy to death.
Keep it going for Halau Hi'iakaina Makalehua, the wonderful Kane and the Wahine standing there before you. As my dear friend Kumuhula Kodi Pueo Pata put it, this next guest that I have the privilege of standing right next to, he really is the embodiment of his Aina. He is from Maui, he is from Nawai'eha, he is from Paukukalo. And he's gonna share a lot about that. But ladies and gentlemen, a nice, warm round of applause for my friend, Kamalei Kava'a.
Haluna o halea kala, I ke ai kana ni kama'o, halawa ku oi kana ni o ke kuguna o kala. Ha'apuni oi puni o Maui, he I ke Nawai'eha, oi kapu, oi luku, oi kaulana Nawai'eha, he kini ke mali he, o ai he e ko makani kili o oku. O Nawai kaulana ia o ku aina, e ai ho'i anani, o kanani o ka puali ula, he pua maka I ka imauia, e sanui o kalehule. Kaulana na puali ke ole, a o he noa eli ke aku, me kanani o ka pua rosalani, o ka behia o kuku aina. Ha'apuni oi puni o Maui, he I ke Nawai'eha, oi kapu, oi luku, oi kaulana Nawai'eha, he kini ke mali he, o ai he e ka makani kili o oku. O Nawai kaulana ia o kuku aina, o
kava'a.
Aloha kākou.
Na wahine. Mahalo hi'akaina makalehua. I'm going to depart from the script a little bit, Kamalei. Talk to us, and you told me this story, but can you share the story about that noise that you were making?
Yes. Aloha kākou. Mahalo nui again to Halau Hi'akaina Makalehua for that beautiful hula. How about a round of applause for them, ladies and gentlemen? Mahalo. Bringing life to Nova Iha. This mele is a very special mele that we just performed. One of my favorites, and it was inspired by Uncle Richard Ho'opi'i. And we recorded this song previously with a band called Nova Iha. And when we recorded the song, we recorded it the way we felt like we needed to record it. And I remember at one gig, we were singing the song, and Uncle Richard Ho'opi'i's wife, Auntie Ulu, she was there in the audience. She listened to it, and she loved the song. She loved our rendition. And after exiting the stage, she came up to me and she said, "Beautiful job, boy." And I said, "Mahalo nui, Auntie, mahalo." And she looked at me and she said, "One thing that would make the song better is Uncle's clocking. Yeah, the noise." And if you folks know Uncle Richard, that was his thing. Yeah, that was his thing. And that's what he did in his mele, especially in Navai Kaulana. Every time he sang that song, the clocking was his signature. So from then on, we made it a point with Navai Iha, and anytime I sing this song, to honor Uncle Richard Ho'opi'i with that simple clock. And if you're from Maui, you know what it is, and you know what it's about in honor of Uncle Richard Ho'opi'i.
It's totally true, because at the Nahoku Hanohano Awards, he started doing that, and then this like 3 or 4 tables started going, yeah! And we're like, what happened? What was that? Thank you for sharing that song, that story and that song. Tell us about this next mele, which I believe is today premiering on all digital platforms.
Yes. This next mele is another very, very special one that's really close to my heart. A song that takes us back home to my beautiful Aina, to my Aina Ho'opulapula of Paukukalo. And this was a song co-written by Kumupueo Pata. And joining us this evening is my lovely, beautiful wife, Hau'oli Mai Kalani, bringing honor to our home, Paukukalo. Ladies and gentlemen, Paukukalo. Oha o havaleka nona I kamalu pihana kalani Hia ai kamakani lave malie Kaua hea hea ka e hua ka moi Hano mai no Paukukalo e o e hu I ka poli o haumea Mahola kalaua ke aloha Kupuohi ka pikoku kulaiwi Ulu vehi hi mauna o eka Kila mai o mauna kane Mena le hua wai ma kanohe Iluna o kau velo ula Hano mai no Paukukalo he o He hu I ka poli o haumea Mahola kalaua ke aloha Kupuohi ka piko ku'u kulaivi Nolu e hui ke ahe ke he vai Ina ina ui kanihi kualau Halavai kala e ohone Me kawai au kahi mali e oka Hano hano mai no pauku kalo he o E hu I ka poli o haumea e a Mahola kalaua ke aloha Kupuohi ka piko kulaivi Hano hano mai no pauku kalo Ehu I ka piko kulaivi Hano hano mai no pauku kalo Ehu I ka piko
Hano hano mauno o pauku kalo. Kamalei kawa'a, Sierra kawa'a, Eola kawai, Nawai kaulana, Nawai iha. Wow, new music first, and beautiful hula, and more stories coming up in just a couple of moments. As a matter of fact, up next, the ladies that come from Pu'ahu'ula, Ko'olau Oahu, and also a Nahoku Hana Award winner from Hilo that originally comes from Kauai. Next.
Hawaiian Airlines May Day, presented by the Hawaiian Islands. And these fine sponsors.
Welcome back. We go with the flow from Mauka to the Kula, where Kanaka maintain their lo'ikalo that feeds us. We go off to the island of Kauai and the abundance of Waiole.
Maika ino Kauai, Hemoleli Kamalei, Kuivi vai ale ale. Leani kamoki hani, uinala, kawaya o na molo kama, na kolo e oe nei ke alo na pali. Ho'o hatu iana, I ka pai o pua, ho'i vale aku no, ila ila wina. wina e wina Kawai na molo kama Kalana vale ho yo e Kawai na molo kama Ui ui wina nei Na kolo kolo ina pali Uhe 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 ana I kanani o kuahiwi Hei mai o yo e Ahi mili mili ho I Tere du dina dina vale o e Kalani kiki e Oia o vau ila ila Kai kaulana o Na molo kama Kani wina la Kawai o na molo kama Na kolo e oe oe nei E alo na pali Ko o hatu i ana I ka pai o kua O hi vale aku noa Ila ila wina Wina e Wina Kawai au na molo kama Hawaii Kamalei Kamalei Tui vai ale ale Lea nei kamoki hana
O wao no veo ula kapo ke ali I po le nei te vai e Le iai ke ho kalu kalu nu ao ke uki no no pu ki uki kamako ke ko ola Tu ahine pua kaya ulu ola lo e ola lo hoki ki vai atana ulu I kahime I ki huna e makahuna Me he hai lai te pili o hue vai he mai.
Ai, au he awalea no oe, komo no ko mai koni.
Au he awalea na oe, tau alo tu o ai oli. Au he na oe tau alo tu o ai oli Kamanawa pehu te ia o Itali no manu a ke pai Kamanawa pehu te ia o Itali no manu a ke pai Ehia tuita wawa e mauia he pahe e na e Ehia tuita wawa e mauia he pahe e na e Olui ka pumahi ki ta e hutai o makahoa
Aloha mai kako. My name is U'ilani Tanigawa Lum, and I am an attorney, and I've had the privilege of working with the Waiʻoli Valley Terahui for the past couple years. In 2018, the North Shore of Kauai suffered devastating flooding, record-breaking flooding, and in the disaster recovery relief efforts, the hui of small family farmers of the Waiʻoli Valley Terahui was informed that their centuries-old Lo'ikalo irrigation system was now on state conservation land, and that triggered a maze of
legal permitting and other requirements. And what's so cool about them is that although they all manage their own individual farms, they have to work together cooperatively because they share the same resource. They recognize that what they do upstream may affect others who are further downstream. So they work together and cooperate to effectively manage not only the resource, the water, but also the stream and the surrounding watershed because they realize that it's all interconnected and they all depend upon one another. And they've done this for generations. In my work with the Hui, we found that lo'ikalo irrigation systems have significant environmental benefits. And this is something that our kupuna knew for generations, but we've sort of just started translating that through the legal process.
O ka pilina no ho'i ka mea e aloha aina ai ke kanaka. O ia mea he pilina. Ina he aina wale no a o he pilina. A ka ina ike ia he makua, he kupuna, ka aina. A nana no e malama ana ia oe, a o kokule ana ka malama ana. I ka aina, ma loko o ka aina, e paio ana no ka pono o ka aina, ke ia mea o ka ke kule ana, oia ke kahi mea e ho'ike ana I ka pilina.
So these farmers, they are the best of us. Many of them were born on some of the farms that they still tend to today. They're 5th, 6th generational farmers, and they really embody this idea of kuleana and awamo kuleana simply because they know it's theirs to carry and somebody has to do it. They're the experts in these resources. They know the system the best. They can tell what's happening upstream simply by looking at the muliwai or what's happening in their lo'i. And I think every single day these kalo farmers are practicing aloha aina and they're embodying it in maybe one of the most foundational ways. There's so much to learn from these individual small family farmers and the practices that they have stewarded for generations.
O kalihi wai, oia ko'u inoa, oia ko'u aina hanau. Ia'u e noho ana I waho o ko'u aina hanau, o ke mele ka mea e ho'i mai ana ia'u I laila. Pela e pa'ai ke ia mau mea o ke aloha aina ma ke kahi ano. I oi aku mamua o ka la mamua, yeah? No laila, he kuleana ko'i ke ia. A ole no ka nanea.
Beyond her many awards, her many accolades, and the countless lives that she continues to touch as a mentor, as a kumu, Kainani Kahaunaele always reminds us that at the core of this thing we call Hawaiian music is mele. And at the core of mele is Olelo Hawaii. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for Kainani Kahaunaele. Joining us again on the stage is Miss Aloha Hula 2022 PEKL Opens. the farmers at Waioli. Mahalo e Misaloha Hula. Mahalo e Kainani.
Aloha kako, aloha no. Mahalo nui e Keauhou for having me this evening. It's always a pleasure to make music with you and to be able to get together and celebrate mele and lei, and everybody looks so beautiful. Ike yala ohu ohu lei. This next song I'd like to sing is called Lumahai, one of the gems, the treasures that was written by Alfred Unauna Alohikea, who was born in Waipi'o, Hamakua, Hawaii. But luckily for us on Kauai, he moved to Hanalei, and he contributed such a treasure chest of mele, wouldn't you say? Oh, yeah. And so this song I'd like to sing is called Lumahai. So sing along if you like. Hano, hano, hanalei kawanui, e pakika, ikalimo manua kepa. Hano, hano, hanalei kawanui, e pakika, ikalimo manua kepa. Kawai o lumahai, kalehua, makano e o lupali. Au au, au au, I kawai o lumahai, kalehua, makano e o lupali. Jeff Auhoi.
A lot of comments for Kainani online. Of course, we're on Facebook Live as well as being on K5 television. They're going, what? Kainani's pal? Well, don't worry. She's coming back. Wink, wink, coming up in a little bit. A halau also that comes, its origins are from the Kamehameha schools, and a KS80 grad that is an award-winning kumuhula and Hawaii recording artist next.
Nani ulu wehi wehi ke aku ikanani megini maka maka aloha o ka aina o e ka heke o na pua me ka lehua o pana eva a me ka maile aloha Kapuana mahalo e hiloha na kahi Megini maka maka aloha mahalo maka aloha mahalo nui iloe.
Welcome back. We're at Bishop Museum this evening, and where the fresh water meets the sea, fish ponds feed the ahupua'a above. To the windward side of Oahu we go at Pai o He'eia.
Nani ko o lau a he poa anu ka iniki vela vela o ka makasila ila ila ka ua e wale ai me ka vai o ka ulala e ho me ka vai o ka ulala e ho Nani ko o lau a he poa anu ka iniki vela vela o ka makasila ila ila ka ua e wale ai me ka vai o ka ulala e ho me ka vai o ka ulala e ho ahiki ka ua inu anu ainu i ka vai o silosia ila ila ka ua ihi olani ai me ka vai o ka ulala e ho me ka vai o ka ulala e ho Nani ko o lau a he moa anu ka iniki vela vela o ka makasila ira ila ka ua e hale ai me ka vai o ka ulala e ho me ka vai o ta ulala e ho ila ila kua o i ka ponei ua pa ako pukai ka lakaia he hi ka ula o nei ka hemu me ka vai o ka uala akua me ka vai o ka uala akua Nani ko o lau a he poa anu ka iniki wala wala o ka makasila ila ila ka ua e malai me ka vai o ka ulala e ho me ka vai o ka ulala e ho Nani ko lau a he poa anu ka iniki wala wala o ka makasila ila ila ka ua e wale ai me ka vai o ka ulala e ho me ka vai o ka ulala e ho me ka vai o ka ulala e ho
I would say that in the contemporary sense, He'eia is an awesome example of Malama Aina. Pai o He'eia is one of the oldest and still active fish ponds in Hawaii.
Our kupuna built this lokoi about 800 years ago for the purpose of cultivating seafood, cultivating fish, which was the primary source of protein for our kupuna. And it encompasses a brackish water environment that's 88 acres in size. So the production potential that's within that 88 acres is tremendous. And it all is because of the fresh water. And the fresh water meeting the salt water and kind of effectuating that potential. Yeah, the potential for life, the potential to grow fish. It's a real hands-off approach, I'd say, to aquaculture, to traditional Hawaiian aquaculture, but it's sustainable, right? You take the time, you put in the effort up front, and then 800 years later, you know, we have places like this to feed us.
Initially thought I don't know anything about He'eia, and when I thought about the three aunties, I remembered many things, and a bunch of that, Ike, was centered around Pai o He'eia. Nani He'eia was born, and it has so many beautiful memories and people that are connected to it, and the beauty of this land from Ma'eli, Ke Alohi, Na Pali Ha'uliuli, Pai o He'eia, and so on. Nani Keauhou May o Nā Kupuna. And here we are standing at many years of restoration of Keauhou, this fish pond.
People think that we're done, yeah? That it's like, oh, we restored the fish pond we started 20 years ago, and now we're POW. It's never POW, right? And such is the nature of our culture. We never POW. We're always innovating, improvising, tweaking, adjusting, learning. And that's how we live. That's how we live as Hawaii. Learn about what makes this place so special and unique. Why are you coming here? It's beautiful. Why is it beautiful? It's beautiful because of our Aina, because of our fresh water, because things are lush, because our people are beautiful. Our people are beautiful because our Aina is beautiful. And help to spread that, you know. Come and visit and take that to your home, and in doing so, you know, you help to protect this place.
Beyond being an award-winning kumuhula, an award-winning recording artist, a cultural resource, he is, I get to brag, he's my hula brother too. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Manu Boyd.
Oh, mahalo anu ia oe Zach. Aloha pumehana kako. I'm so happy to be here at Kaiwi this beautiful place of the Hale Ho'ike o Kamehameha, the Bishop Museum, and to sing a song and present some mele for, one mele for Pai Pai o He'eia and for the He'eia district. And, you know, I mentioned the three aunties that I don't think the video described who they were. And they are the mother of Teresa Bright, Auntie Carol Bright, the mother of Frank Hewitt, Auntie Alice Pualelani Hewitt, and also Auntie Elizabeth Lau, and her son is Milton Lau. So those three aunties from the Ko'olau Hawaiian Civic Club really taught me a lot about He'eia that I didn't think I knew. And so I want to present these guys over here. These guys are from Kaleo Olaka i Kahikino Kala, and their kumuhula is my Hoa Hanau hula, and my colleague at Kamehameha Schools, Kaleo Trinidad. He is down ready to greet Hokulea upon arrival at Ra'iatea. And so I call them the Hie boys, because Hie means that they're well behaved, but they're kolohe, and they get swag. So you guys ready to go to Hie? You ready? Boys, you ready to sing? Girls, you ready to sing? Okay, here we go. 5, 6, 7, and He'eia uli, he'eia kea he nani, he'eia Nani he'eia ma'eli noho puaina ohi papai aili mukohu lua pala ohi oleka aovai pao isa uluvehi oha ipu He'eia uli, he'eia kea he nani, he'eia Lai ke alohi au i te tai hoa moku moku o he'eia ahualaka Vehi puahau no mehe anu kia iloko mewa kapalili osa ama He'eia uli, he'eia kea he nani, he'eia Haliha uli uli ko'olau popo home hoki pare o nā kupuna Toina ole ae Halia mai e ae Kaulu mano e ae Ke aloha nui e ae A o ka haku aina e ae Ka ehu paki e ae Makuahi i lehi e ae Ke ali'i pauahi e ae Everybody sing He ia uli, he ia ke ae nani He ia e, he ia e, he ia e He ia, he inoa no pauahi
Mahalo Emmanuel.
I told you it was here, yeah? No.
Here, no.
Mahalo Anui. You know, exactly 44 years ago tonight, I was 15 years old, and I was really excited to attend the Brothers Cazimero concert at the Waikiki Shell. It was the first annual, and no one wanted to go, and I was only 15, so I couldn't go by myself. So I asked my auntie Ione Ryan, who lives up above the Shell up in Kapahulu, and she was my date. And so 44 years later, she's still at the house in Kapahulu. She's watching on TV. Hi, Auntie. Her daughter, Lilia Kapulani, is here with some ohana. But at that first concert, a beautiful song was sung that had been written by Robert Cazimero, Wayne Chang, and Lena Alakalamahaini. The song Velina Oahu. And so Velina Oahu speaks about different lays associated with different people at different parts of the island. And it's verse 3 that we're going to present with Halawoke Ali Kumakani starting off. That's going to lead into another song that was inspired 10 years later by that verse. That's plenty of math there to remember.
Little bit.
I'll hear ho'ike mahope. No quiz after. Anyway. Anyway, so let's go back. 44 years ago, I was 15. That means I'm 15 plus 44. Yeah, do that again. More math. Anyway. Kui ana kalau ike konane Aue hiki no inu ke alati kake Mali umai e ke alati kake lai Tu hoa pili o ke ano ahi ahi rai Mali umai e ke alati kake lai Tu hoa pili o ke ano ahi ahi Wanna do this guy?
Exactly.
Ahi pela mai nei loko he ini nui lai No kaliko puanani iwai alai Ahi pela mai nei loko he ini nui lai No kaliko puanani iwai alai lai Ila pua wika pone ilai O iai o mahe alani e pamai Ila pua wika pone ilai O iai o mahe alani e pamai Vai rau I tawa ko nanelai I puana ue e tui ala wa hololai. Pai pai la ui ta pako nanelai. I puana ue tui ala wa hololai. Loke ala ti ka ke mo ani eilai. The Ali Wahine and the Hie boys.
Manu Boy, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, mahalo nui loa. Well, Manu's going to stay right there, and as the wonderful dancers exit the stage, we're actually going to invite all of our guests so far, Kamalei Kawa'a, Kainani Kahonaele, Manu Boyd. One more round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for these wonderful Kanaka Aina. Now, maybe a little self-indulgent on my part, but...
Yes, that's right.
All right, fine, you're going to call it out, Manu. This last song that we're going to do for this section of this program is a song that I wrote for the home that Nick and I grew up in. And what a wonderful opportunity to share this song with everyone you see on the stage. The running joke is, I'll sing the first verse, and then Kamalei is going to sing the next verse, and he sings my song better than me. So, and the other two as well. So,
you know, your humility is really, it's just charming.
Thank you.
You're kind of here too.
Oh, thank you.
Hano hano haiku kei ke aku hipoli na palihauli.
And the high girls.
Hano hano haiku kei ke aku hipoli na palihauli.
Kamalei.
Huli aku nana.
Told you.
Yakea hiakohoi leianai kaohu kaui kapiko. Huli aku nana. Yakea hiakohoi leianai kaohu kaui kapiko.
Kainani.
Hio mai la iluna ke anue nue hoa pili mena vailele a oi auka.
So beautiful.
Hio mai la iluna ke anue nue hoa pili mena vailele.
sultry.
Let's go home.
The ladies of Kala'o no Himaio Hae Hae, Kamalei Kawa'a, Kainani Kahonaele, Manu Boyd. We'll be back in just a little bit. We're Keauhou. Happy May Day.
Gives new meanings to going to new heights. Hey, you know, with Hawaii's doors opening wider, what role does the Hawaii Tourism Authority play? We will ask CEO John DeFries, who's coming up next. Ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause for Keauhou.
Hawaiian Airlines May Day, presented by the Hawaiian Islands and these fine sponsors.
Welcome back. We're here at the Bishop Museum. We're getting a chance to talk to the CEO of the Hawaii Tourism Authority, John DeFries. John, how are you enjoying the show so far?
Inspirational, educational, elegant. It's all happening.
Nice round of applause, because these guys have been incredible, all the dancers and all the musicians. So talk about, for a couple of moments, Hawaii Tourism Authority's support of May Day this year.
You know, having it here at Bishop Museum, I'm a former board member here, and understanding what's in this building and on this campus, what we're seeing is a manifestation of all that knowledge, all that wisdom from our ancestors coming forward in these presentations. And it's just mind-boggling to see how deep our culture can take us in understanding more about our environment, more about the future steps that we have to take as a community.
What does that make you think about this next generation?
You know, I'm pretty impressed. I mean, Keauhou, I just flew in from Kona. So in Kona, Keauhou, we know, translated, means the new current, the rebirth, the renaissance, the new beginning. And we're seeing it here.
Wow. Troy, from your point of view, I just want to talk about Aloha Aina a little bit. How is Aloha Aina, the role of Aloha Aina in the economic future?
Aloha Aina is a kama'aina way of life, and it is a call to action. And every industry, starting with tourism, has to move in this direction. The communities are calling for it, future generations are calling for it, frankly, the world's calling for it, and Hawaii needs to emerge as an example, not only here at home, in the nation of America, but in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, John DeFries, CEO from Hawaii Tourism Authority. John, thank you for being with us. Let's go inside for a bit, inside Bishop Museum.
Aloha, my name is Debbie Nakanelua Richards, and I'm the Director of Community and Cultural Relations at Hawaiian Airlines.
Aloha nui, my name is Marcus Hanalei Marzan, and I am the Cultural Advisor and the Wayne Pitluck and Judith Pyle Curator for Cultural Resilience at Bishop Museum. A lei is the physical manifestation of memory. The emotions that you experience in a moment is embodied in that act. The physical binding together of these separate elements, stringing them together into this one continuous thread.
This recognition of lei means recognition of place, of people, of kupuna. It's just foundational in who we are as a people. The next time you wear that lei or you pass through and you smell that fragrance, it will bring and stir that memory, that emotion, just that feeling of connection to this place, to this custom, to this tradition of the making, the wearing, and the giving of the lei.
Working at Bishop Museum has been a great privilege and honor to steward and protect some of these precious treasures that have come to us from our kupuna. And many of the examples that we care for are the more permanent forms of lei. You know, they are made from shells, they are made from feathers, seeds, those enduring materials. In other communities across the Pacific, they use different materials to adorn themselves. So they use sea urchin spines, they use other forms of shells, from land shells to sea shells, other forms of feathers, and various kinds of materials.
I just value that the museum has accepted that kind of kuleana to take care of those items from throughout the Pacific. It's really beautiful to see that when you have a chance to meet these people or to come and look at these items from across Moana Nui a Akea, it reminds us, again, what connects us, what binds us together. The ocean may appear to separate us, but it's in fact like the lei, connects us all together. It's really a powerful medium, again, that brings us together, whether we meet for the first time or for the 1,000th time.
Goodbye, Kauai, ke aloha la uhe uhene.
Haina, uhe uhene mai ka puana. Uhe uhene, goodbye, Kauai, ke aloha, uhe uhene. Uhe uhene.
You know, for May Day, for a lot of people, it has different memories. You know, whether it was you're in elementary school like me on the blacktop just waiting for your time to dance, maybe you were singing, maybe you were dancing, maybe you were on the May Day court, maybe you were at the Waikiki Shell, or maybe you're creating more memories tonight with your ohana gathered around televisions, small screens or big screens. We thank you so much for being here. Now, let's go over to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Keauhou.
Hano hano Maui
of Halau Hi'iakaina Makalehua.
Uwehi kahiona ona mai e ha na mai kaulana ma ke komohana vai Līlīlehua e kamalu o ke ao ha he o
Mahalo, ladies. Hello, Hi'iakaina Makalehua. So for me, May Day is synonymous with a few things. The plumeria lei, the white piano, and the person sitting behind it. He needs no introduction. But I'm going to introduce him anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, our kumu, our teacher, the beloved voice of Hawaii, Robert Uluvehi Cazimero.
Aloha, everybody. You know, it's been very interesting getting ready for May Day this year, to finally have the opportunity to do it. Rehearsing here last night was cause for a little bit of concern. You know, we got here at 3 o'clock and we finished like about 10 o'clock, and it rained continuously the whole time. Obviously, the concern was deeper than you could have thought. But tonight, the gods are on our side, and it is the 1st of May. May Day is Lay Day in Hawaii. Garlands of flowers everywhere, all of the colors in the rainbow. Maidens with blossoms in their hair, flowers that mean we should be happy, throwing aside our load of care. Oh, May Day is Lay Day in Hawaii. May Day is happy day out here. I seem to hear the Polly calling me. seem to hear the surf at Waikiki, and from Pacific Heights, you know, I seem to see the lights of a city that is very dear to me. And then I seem to see the waving sugar cane, and all the cocoa palms are nodding in the rain. In fancy I am led back to dear old Diamond Head, and Honolulu I am coming back again. For the top, boys. I seem to hear the Pali calling me. I seem to hear the surf at Waikiki, and from Pacific Heights, you know, I seem to see the lights of a city that is very dear to me. I seem to see the waving sugar cane, the cocoa palms are nodding in the rain. In fancy I am led back to dear old Diamond Head, and Honolulu I am coming back again. And Honolulu I am coming back again. Big finish, boys, big finish. Honolulu I am coming back again.
Yes, come on.
When I found out that the boys were doing May Day this year, I kind of like gently, well, maybe not so gently, prodded the fact that, wondering whether they were going to ask anyone to, you know, sing a song at a piano that was white. When they said yes, I thought it would be kind of fun to do songs that I used to do back when I was as young as many of the young ones that you saw before I got on stage. They are so young and so beautiful. You can smell the freshness. It's absolutely amazing. So, you know, they throw me in because I kind of like even out the whole thing. When we were part of the Sunday Manoa back in 1857, and it was time for us to record our very first album that was called, Guava Jam. We didn't exactly know what we were going to do. We didn't practice very much. We sort of like just got to the studio and did things. But I did want to make sure that we sang this song. My grandfather, well, you know, my family's from Kohala, from the island of Hawaii. And evidently, my grandfather, who worked for the plantation, you know, he'd go to work, and if he didn't come home maybe right after work, the ambulance would pick him up that you're probably hearing in the background. No, he'd come home late, and my grandmother would be waiting, and she knew that he had been out, celebrating Friday or something like that, and he knew that as he walked up that winding path towards the house in Kalihi, well, it's the same thing, in Kohala, that she was not very happy with him. And so he'd walk in the house, she'd be in the kitchen, he would grab a guitar, say, and he would sing this song. It was their courting song that we recorded on Guava Jam many years ago. Only you, voice in the kitchen would get louder. My grandmother would say something like, Grandpa is singing with a little bit more earnest. My grandmother would start to cry and he would go in for the kill. Kai kei kahana ke aloha lae. Mayday, stories from my house to your house. Mahalo. Oftentimes when you are a musician, you don't have an opportunity to pretty much get off stage. Ever since I've passed this baton on to Keauhou, I have a lot of time now. Great, I don't come on till the second half. But then I was thinking about these musicians up here. Do we ever get to see them dance hula? Tonight's the night. I'm going to call the young Lum brothers to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Zachariah, and I call him Boo, Nicholas. Front stage, please. And they will be joined by their hula brothers. But basically, they are the stars. So, Ops, Opsanui, Teve, Teve, Ta'amayana, Teve, Teve, Paitarani, Teve, Teve, To'eo, Eo, Teve, Teve. Opu boys. Opunui, Teve, Teve, Ta'amayana, Teve, Teve, Paitalani, Teve, Teve, To'eo, Eo, Teve. How to hold that verse, okay? Opu. This song is about a young lady that sees a Hawaiian boy going by and compares a certain part of his body to that of a goby fish, sometimes pointing towards the sky, at other times just dragging on the ground. But I tell you, this was no ordinary fish. Thank you very much. Opu, pa. Opunui, teve, teve, hapai, talima, teve, teve, teonine, teve, teve, tupakane, teve, teve. Hanaho! She decides, this young lady, that she's going to catch that fish in her hands, not realizing that it would squirm so much from side to side. Have I already mentioned to you that this was no ordinary fish? Thank you. Opu, opunui, teve, teve, te tomone, teve, teve, ita upena, teve, teve, ataua, teve, teve. This is the censored verse that says, oh, goby fish. Teve, teve, oh, goby fish. Oh my goodness, goby fish. Save the whales, oh goby fish. We teve, teve. All right, the Lum brothers alone. Oh, panu, we teve, teve. Okay, you know, last night you folks made mistakes, okay? Tonight you folks are doing really well, but just because of that, I'm taking drinks from you later. Last verse, 5, 6, 7, and Opanui teve teve he akahele e o teve teve o hemboa anei teve teve pa ole ata ua teve teve. Everybody. Opanui teve teve he akahele e o teve teve o hemboa anei teve teve pa ole ata. Hi, no ho, we're not pow yet. Last one. Opanui teve teve akahele e o teve teve o he moa anei teve teve pa ole ata ua teve teve teke teke teve 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 teke teke teve teve teve. Thank you very much. You know, we were part of the Sunday Manoa from 1969 till 1975, I think it was. It seemed a very short time, actually, but it was a pretty ample time to be together. This last song that I'd like to do for my section, actually, was written by a man named Hector Venegas, who was a good friend of Peter's. And I don't know how it happened that Peter became the person to write the melody for the song. Even more importantly, I'm not really sure how I got to be the one to be the one to sing it first. But I do love this song very much. We recorded it in Los Angeles at the Capitol Records. We had a really hard time there because we're staying at some place that had like a little bear for a logo with a nightcap, and it wasn't good. It definitely wasn't the Hilton. Oh, I shouldn't say that because they're not sponsors, are they? Whoever the sponsors are, they weren't the ones who were taking us into their hotel. So, and then it was odd too because, you know, it always seemed like it was going to rain. We didn't realize at the time that was smog. And so it was very difficult to sing this song because it really spoke nothing about where we are from and how lucky we are to live here. Even more so, the way things are happening in the world today, it makes me very, very humbled in knowing that I can still live in Hawaii and make a living at it. So when I went to record this song, the engineer in that little office area went home and put on an aloha shirt to kind of like inspire me. Roland went home to get the leis that we had brought with us, which by that time was just dead plumerias and string. But you know how we Hawaiians are. I can still smell the flowers, I tell you. Only then, and only then, was I able to sing this song. Where I live, there are rainbows. Hello, Miss Jackie Japan. With life and the laughter of morning and starry nights. Where I live, there are rainbows and flowers full of colors and birds filled with song. I can smile when it's raining and touch the warmth of the sun. I hear children laughing in this place that I love, and where I live, there are rainbows and flowers full and birds filled with song. I can smile as it rains in Waimea and touch the warmth of the sun in Konai. Hear children laughing in this place that I love, and where we live, there are rainbows with life in the laughter of morning and starry nights. Too soon. And starry nights. Aloha, everybody. Happy May Day.
We've been stringing this lay of stories and hula and music all throughout the evening, and so, you know what? We put a ribbon on it coming up next here on May Day.
Presented by the Hawaiian Islands and these fine sponsors.
Aloha kako. May Day has always been an opportunity for us to celebrate our community through lei, mele, hula, and so much more. As we look to a future of more Lei Day celebrations, especially as we begin to reconnect to our communities and to our Aina, we thank you for joining us for this live broadcasted concert. As a nonprofit organization, Kahuli-Leolea relies on the support of individuals who know very well the importance of our cultural practices like mele and how they shape the future of a community rooted in Aina and Aloha. If you're enjoying this program, please consider supporting us with a tax-deductible donation at kahulileolea.org. Your support will help us further our mission of Aloha Aina through mele. Happy May Day, everyone. Aloha.
On May Day, Lei Day with you. Make a lei, wear a lei, give a lei. On May Day, Lei Day with you.
We're so happy that you joined us for this wonderful Lei Day celebration. Kalei e, kalehua e.
Karozelani Kalei hu ihu 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 ie
The wahine and kane of Halau Hi'iakaina Makalehua.
Kalei Karozelani Kalei ihu 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 ie
Kalei kaili mae Kalei hui 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 hui
The lovely ladies of Kala'o no Himai o Hae Hae.
Kalei kaili mae Kalei hui 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 Kamoki hanae Kalei hui 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 hui
Kaleo laka I kai kino kala and halau ke ali makai.
Kalei Kamoki hanae Kalei hui 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 hui
Miss Aloha Hula.
Haina mai kapuana Kalei hui 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 hui
One more time for the entire cast.
Haina mai kapuana Kalei hui 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 Kalei hui 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 hui
From all of us to all of you, Aloha la me, happy May Day.